So here we see the demo of use case diagrams. As we already discussed, we are working on Lucidchart, which is an online tool for drawing various types of diagrams. So we have opened a new document from here, and as we know that we must have some sort of container in which we have to place the use cases, and which acts as a system boundary. So we have this diagram for container. So we drag and drop this here. So this is the container that we have obtained. Next, we have to name this container. So we have named this container as restaurant management system. So we have to name it at the top. So we at the top we have written restaurant management system. Now next we shall drag and drop the use cases, that is the oval shaped use cases. As many number of use cases we can copy and paste, and they will be seen here. So we have drawn these 5 number of use cases. Then actors, we are having this element for actor. We drag and drop it here, and we can create as many number of copies as we require. So, and we can name them also. That is, we have named this as receptionist, and then we have named this as head waiter. So two actors we have created, right? Now use cases should also be named. So we have named the first use case as record booking, second use case as cancel booking, third use case as table transfer, fourth use case as record arrival, and fifth use case as record walk-in. Right. Then we draw the communication lines from the actors to various use cases. We have drawn communication lines from actors to various. So from receptionist, we have drawn communication line to the record booking, cancel booking, and from head waiter, we have drawn communication line to table transfer, record arrival, and record walking. Next, we are drawing another use case for the display status, right? So we have drawn another use case which is named as display status, and obviously it should be linked to also. And this bent lines can be changed to straight. From here we are having line options, whether we want to select the straight line or curved line or the bent line. So from this we can change. Okay, next. So we have drawn all the links, and we, because here we want to make this relationship between various use cases to this display booking status as include type of relationship. So we have made this as in dotted line, and this we have drawn for the generalization, that is generalized user we have drawn, so that any user can run this display booking status use case. So ultimately we have included all these includes So okay, we have included all these dotted lines and also this user, right? So this relationship we have shown extends relationship between record arrival and record walk-in. It's because they have something overlapping. Record walk-in is a special case which is to be considered when some customer has not priorly booked the table. And this is the constant we are showing here for this relationship. So this particular use case will be taken over when there is no prior booking. Okay, we have shown then this generalization of the actors we are showing here. See, from both the sides we are showing this generalization of actors. So we have shown this way. Receptionist and head waiter both are generalized from this user. So any user can execute this display booking status. Okay. So this way we have drawn this restaurant management system, right? So few points to be remembered are that there must be a system boundary, so we should not forget drawing this system boundary. Then all the use cases must be inside this system boundary, and all the actors must be outside the system boundary. Then we can have two types of relationships among these use cases. One is include type relationship, where a use case must be executed in order to execute the other use case. Okay, and the second type of relationship is extends, where some common features are there, overlapping features are there, but it is not necessary. It is optional. Yeah, the actor can execute any of the two depending upon the situation. So one is the uh, you can say base type of use case, and other is the extended type of use case, which contains the base plus something more. So uh, the new use case, which is depending upon the uh, earlier one, that is not altogether independent, but that derives some common functionalities from the base type of use case. Uh, we can show the constants also in the use case diagram. So this way we can show. Then we can also have a sort of this extension point uh, for the use cases, where we can show this alternate flow of execution within the use case. Uh, like for example, when some sort of exception is occurred. In case of exception, we can show the exception to the lower half of this use case, and the normal at the upper half of this use case. For example, suppose we are showing this record booking. In case of record booking, suppose we want to show a situation where the some sort of exception is occurred. Like for example, the table size is not available, so a smaller size table is available. So the system may ask user whether user wishes to still book the table or not. If user wishes to book, then it does accordingly. Otherwise, it raises an exception, and it makes the system, that is, it denies the user for booking. This way, we can replace this record booking in this split type of use case, where we can alternate flow of events within the use case itself. So this all is the use case diagram. Uh, as we already discussed, that it is a very important diagram, because all the uh, later stages diagrams are based on this, that is, all the behavior diagrams, because these use cases, individual use cases, are to be realized in the design phase. So each individual use case, because each use case represents the flow of events. So the flow of events must be represented for each and every use case in the design phase. That depicts the, or that shows the behavior of the system. That is how the system will behave when the system will be working. So that is an important issue. So the this use case diagram is, you can say, a base diagram for all the subsequent detailing of the behavioral modeling. So it is important. Thank you very much.